I'd say there was almost like a spiritual thing that happened there.
Okay.
It was very powerful, but total chaos. But I kind of want to like lead up to.
Yeah.
So we listened to the president, and there was some funny moments. But there was some really nefarious stuff going on beforehand that I watched happen. Before the president was done speaking, there was a huge group of people that were over by the ellipse that ran towards the Capitol way beforehand. And it wasn't until later where I got to see the footage where I actually saw what these people did. And most of them took down the barricades. They took down the fencing. And by the time we got there, we didn't even know we were trespassing. Just being on the lawn where we were, trespassing.
Right.
All of us. Right. Every one of them.
How many people are actually there moving forward? Like when you...
There's a lot of numbers thrown around. I'd say between 50 and 100,000 people, somewhere in there.
In the entire event?
I'd say so.
What was it called? The Save America?
There was a lot more into the back that I didn't see.
What,
but
100,000? What?
It's estimated somewhere between 70 and 100,000 people.
That's entire people that showed up for Trump's rally.
Yeah.
Okay.
That are at the Capitol premise, just to clarify.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, like within the Capitol grounds. When I say premise, I mean the grounds. As you're kind of alluding to, there's a section, but yeah, not to interfere with your side of the story yet, but that is accurate.
It's 100,000-ish.
Around high end is 100,000. Yeah.
Quick pause. If you stop, like this video, subscribe to this channel, that means my channel is going to grow, which means I can keep doing this. It is the #1 thing that you can do to support me. Please take a second, like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and enjoy the rest of the clip.
It's a lot of people.
Yeah.
And
it was a lot of people.
It is.
And some of them were there, and I think some of them were nefarious, trying to get us in trouble. Because, as the speech was over, all this other stuff was going on that I talked about. I didn't even know. None of this. I'm just sharing my perspective, my two eyes, and what they saw. Along the way, I did get to meet Jacob Chansley, the horned headdress guy. I walked up to him and I was like, he wasn't wearing a shirt, and it was cold that day. I was like, dude, why aren't you wearing a shirt? And he's like, shirts aren't for real men.
And is that horn hat for? It's like a very particular attire.
Yeah, I was gonna offer to buy a sweater for him.
Did you?
No, because he didn't.
He was too much of a man.
I guess so. Yeah.
You said that you had there were so many people in front of you and you couldn't even see getting into the Capitol. Like you saw there was all these people, and we've seen some of these clips of people ripping through these barricades.
Yeah.
How far back were you? Were you
way
thousands
back.
of people back?
There was so many people back.
Yeah.
By the time I got there, like I said, all the barricades, some of them were in a pile, and I did see some of them, and some of them I walked over when I got there. But me and my mom got separated in the crowd. I was kind of like going forward, and then I'd go and search for her and come back and see how she's doing. But I ended up getting separated, started doing my own thing. Thought she was okay. I wish I just would have stayed with her because she really did need me, but hindsight is 20/20, right?
You were moving.
And I'm going up to the Capitol, and all this stuff is going on. It is just smoke in the air. I couldn't tell really what was going on. Like, is there a fire that started? It was like CS gas.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was gas, right?
Yeah,
like,
it was gas.
Yeah, so there's no fire because you see the pictures and there's smoke and there was no fire. It was
no
just
fire. It looked like it to me.
Was
like
it the tear gas or was it?
It was a mix of like a bunch of things.
Just so you know.
Yeah, it was a mix of tear gas and different crowd control things. Yeah.
So.
But you didn't know at the time, so you thought, is there fires? You just saw.
I was just like, what the hell is going on with the Capitol?
Yeah.
Like, this is the Capitol. So I had never been before. So I'm making my way up, and you could barely get up to where the front of the place was. But I climbed some scaffolding and made my way around, and You know?
So you got to that point where you're doing something. So you didn't know when you're in the field, you didn't know it was illegal because they're already broken down and you didn't know you're trespassing. But at some point, you went from just walking around, you didn't know you're trespassing, to I'm obviously illegally climbing up whatever. So like, at what point were you like, we're doing this?
Not until what happened with the law enforcement did I ever think that I was doing anything, a little questionable.
Okay.
So, and we'll get to that.
Sure.
But what happened was, and I remember it like, watching a movie, because I struggled with PTSD for a long time, and I've managed to deal with a lot.
You don't anymore?
I don't think I do.
Yeah.
So what happened was I embellished the moment a little bit and took him an American flag and like waved it in front of the Capitol, with my hands, and it was a good time.
So you're up there.
Yeah, so I'm up there, and all this commotion starts coming out of the West Terrace Tunnel, and there was a officer that was being pulled out of there. And I'm witnessing what's going on, and this officer, he gets hit in the head with a flagpole. And I start screaming at the crowd. I'm like, no, don't do that. That's not okay.
What do you mean? They grabbed a flagpole and
They
hit him, or
grabbed
it
a
fell?
flagpole while he was being surfed up above people, like surfed out of the terrace tunnel, and they smashed his head with a flagpole.
He was being surfed.
Yeah, like at a rock concert.
So like they had grabbed this.
They had grabbed
and
this,
they were.
Yes. Yeah.
So did you go get in?
I wanted to see what was happening. What happened after that really dug in the next 4 years of struggle, because I really had to face everything that happened in that tunnel. Someday I want to go there and actually feel the walls and maybe just sit down and just heal the spot. You know what I mean? Like, it really was. And when I tell you what happened, so I'm watching what's going on, and I'm probably about 15 feet away, and I hear some people, and they're like, well, we need help. We need help. We need big people. Okay. I'm not really that big, but I was strong. I was a farm boy at the time. Agriculture, that kind of stuff, full time. And what I witnessed was some of the worst police brutality I'd ever seen before. Now, understandable looking back at how the way some of them responded to some of the violence.
Who? Look at the police?
The police.
Okay.
So this young man I see, who I ended up running into later on, who will not be named. He was standing kind of in front, and a old guy, probably in his like 70s, pushed him forward. And one of the cops leaned into a punch and smashed his head. And at that point, I had seen enough to get involved myself. So what I did, and you can read it, online, is I took one of the law enforcement's riot shields from them and turned it around and used it in a defensive posture. That's what I did.
You grabbed it from him.
Yeah.
And you used it in you just held it, or?
I held it for a long time, just like that, just to protect people behind me. Now, I know what it looks like, and all these different perspectives from people from the outside, you weren't there.
Right.
So you have to understand, you don't see everything I do, and then when you watch the footage, you see things I don't. So, and plus, like, seeing someone, drifted through a crowd like that and bashed in the head kind of puts you in a weird headspace, like you're not feeling right about everything that's going on. Some people might run away at that point. I'm not one of those people.
You said that you had felt pretty like everything was fine up until the interaction with them. So like, what were you feeling? Were you like, holy crap, I just...
Yeah. And there was blood all over the walls, everywhere, from batons being tossed on people. I mean, just... If you take a steel baton to a watermelon and smash it, I mean, it that's what it looks like. I mean, you just see blood everywhere, all over the place. So that's why it was so hard for me to like deal with everything.
And again,
that's also why I grabbed the riot shield, because I wanted it to
scary.
stop.
Right.
It was fucking scary. Yeah, sorry.
You're good. You're good. So what I'm not quite connecting. So you said there's terrible police brutality, and obviously you're scarred from that, and you've seen a lot of just the people who are there moving forward with you also getting beat up. There's blood on the walls. Who's getting hurt? Everyone? The police? The people?
Everybody's getting hurt.
It's just a brawl
It
in the
is a
hallway.
Brawl. Yeah.
I would maybe be classified as like a medieval siege. If you watch the videos of it,
yeah.
it's actually like a siege. They are shield blocked, and there's like a video of an officer who's locked in between two different shields, and he's getting squished as they're like, it's like a medieval.
He got his ribs crushed.
Yeah, it's insane.
He was several feet away from me, but I was there when that was happening.
God.
Yeah. Which I don't agree with that, but...
So in the moment, were you like, this is wrong? Or were you like...
No, I felt like I was doing the right thing. And I still believe that it was the right thing to do.
In honor of the people next to you getting hurt, or in honor of what?
Everyone must do what they believe in their heart is the right thing to do. Otherwise, if you go to bed at night knowing that you don't do that...
Yeah. I completely agree. I couldn't agree more. My question is, though... I understand you believed it was right. Why why in your heart did you believe the right thing to do is be here, moving forward, helping this mob hurt these police officers, hurt these security guards? When there's blood everywhere, you just took someone's shield. Why in your heart did you feel like this is what's going to help me sleep tonight, is doing the right thing here?
So it was basically everything that they had done to us and me.
The government.
The government.
I see.
So at that point, when they started engaging us like that, then it became something more. Like, we're going to show you why you don't want to do this to us. We're going to make it so you stop. And we did for a while. We did. And if you watch the footage, we got like halfway down the hallway. And we could have gone further, but there was a couple opportunities where I hate to even call them that. A couple instances where, I saw some guys on the ground that I could have just fully taken advantage of the situation, and I left them alone, and I backed off, and I told people to leave them alone. So
I don't know.
there was
you saw rioters on the ground.
No, officers.
Like, you could have done what?
I could have done all kinds of stuff to people on the ground. They're helpless. You could do all kinds of things. Pull them out with everyone else behind you. That's. You're talking about a very violent situation, and everyone is amped up. Okay,
Yeah.
This isn't me anymore. Just so you know, I'm not like this.
Right.
Yeah.
So we get in there.
Before we get too, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I apologize. Are you said you felt this was the right thing to do, and you explained why. To this day, looking back in that particular moment, do you still feel like I did the right thing there, or is that changed?
I mean, I wouldn't change anything, but
You'd still be there if you had the chance.
yeah, I would still be there. I'd probably do things a lot better, though. I'm much more peaceful.
What is
the
better?
way.
So your friends next to you are getting hurt
Encourage
in the
people
blood.
to just not be violent. What's the point? It doesn't help us. It doesn't help them.
So you might start.
It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, 110%. So, you kind of see that nature coming out of me in some of the story. Like, you'll see me tell people to move back or get off the office. Like, there is that nature in me already, but like, it wasn't as established as much. But do you want to get back to the
Yeah.
moment?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So let's just kind of go through it every step of the way. So that happens with the kid, right? And then I grab the riot shield. A whole bunch of other people do the same thing. And we're standing there. And then we get down the hallway, and this is all the stuff I haven't shared yet. Up until this point, I have shared. This stuff, I haven't shared yet.
So this stuff you're going to share, you've never talked about
I've
before.
never talked about it before.
Oh, exciting.
Yeah.
I'm thrilled. Edge of my seat.
So, I was a part of encouraging people along, which you can imagine telling that to a judge would be very incriminating.
Mm-hmm.
So I was yelling, push. I was, trying to get in at this point. It became something else at the moment. It became about freedom. It became about our rights being stepped on. It became about fighting against this police brutality. It came about, like, all this other stuff in the moment. That's what it became about. And it became about a lot of other things for a lot of other people too. But I'm up there and I'm telling people what to do in some instances. And there was some moments where people's lives were on the line. I mentioned what happened with the law enforcement officers, but sparing life is different than saving it, right? So if there was one moment, because there's two sets of doors. There's one kind of more towards the outside, and then there's one deeper in. Well, the deeper in one goes towards them, the hallway, and not out. So what happened was they tried to close the doors, and I was one of the only ones, actually I was the only one that shoved a riot shield in there. And the only reason why I did at the time was because I saw people screaming on the other side for their life. In my head, I'm thinking, I have to do something. So in these moments, you have split seconds, sometimes even less than that, to respond and react. So I did, and there was a guy that I saved that got pushed in with the police and kind of sandwiched between the door. Thank God he was a skinny guy, I turned him around and told him to go home. I think he saw enough.
Did he go home?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
He left. He was done with that, man.
He's like, yes, sir.
And-
He walks away.
And at this point...
Smartest decision you made the whole day, by the way.
Yes, absolutely. So at this point, like I said, it had turned into all these other things. So now I am using the riot shield in not a defensive way. I'm using it to push on them. I push them down the hallway to get where I want to be. And then I come to, okay? And I'm like, holy shit, what the hell am I doing?
When you say come to,
Like, I am in a
you're
zone.
in the zone.
I am in a
okay.
zone.
You kind of get a perspective
Yeah.
of where you're at, what you're doing.
Yeah, like, and I'm like, what the hell am I doing? And I'm like, oh my gosh, these are police officers.
Yeah.
And after that, there was an instance where I told everybody, I yelled, and I can yell loud, and I've got quite the voice for that. And they all listened to me. They all listened to me, and they stopped. And there was a moment of pause where we were yelling at the Capitol police officers, and they're responding to us, trying to talk to us, remedy the situation some. And I'm yelling at them, and I'm crying. And I'm yelling at them, and I'm saying, why won't you let us in? Why won't you let us in? why won't you let us in? I said that. And one of them just shook their head no, and then another one came out, and he was a taller guy. Seemed more, there, probably someone in charge. And he says, you can't be here.
How many people were with you right there?
In the front, probably at least 10 to 12, but everyone, if you add everyone behind us, there was thousands.
Right.
So when you push and everyone pushes at once, it's like fluid dynamics. You're looking at like almost like water would react in a situation. So when there's a lot of force in the front, there's a lot of energy there. So there was a lot of people pushing on me. There was a lot going on, right? So this happened, and I've never mentioned that before. Not once. This is the first time. So you're seeing what kind of happened a little bit from my perspective. There was other people there.
Yeah.
But what happened after that was
Oh, real quick. So
ahead.
you're sitting there. You're yelling at the cop.
Yeah.
Right. You're emotional.
I'm
There's
very.
people around you. There's pressure. There's so much going on. You're in the heat of the moment. I get it. What do you just looking back at it? And I'm genuinely asking because I'm trying to figure out what your mindset is today and kind of how that compares. But what should these officers have done? Like I understand that it was like you see their bodies laying on the ground and being thrown around and bashed and there's blood everywhere. What should they have done? Should they have just said, "Come on in. We don't like our government either." Like
Sounds pretty reasonable.
I mean, they're doing their jobs, right? Like, so was there and I know again we're in the heat of the moment, so it's hard to speak on how rational your thoughts were, but I'm just trying to curious today or in the moment, was there a thought of no, they really shouldn't have been stopping us. They really shouldn't have, or they were in the wrong for that.
Congratulations, you protected the most evil people on the planet. I mean, at the time, that's what I thought.
Right. Yeah,
So now I have forgiven and moved on, and that has taken a long time. But
it was reporting that it's kind of comes to a weird contrast of where you're at a rally, at these rallies and in general, the party of law and order, and that's probably how you felt in the moment, like those thoughts of when you came to that moment of holy cow, these are police officers,
yeah,
right, and we're the
respect
party of law and order, right?
Yeah. And there was still a part of me that did respect all people, and it's just you get into these instances, you never know really how you're going to be, especially when you don't know yourself all the way yet.
To kind of add to this, you see this play out in a lot of the video footage where things just escalate, where someone gets hit with something and then they get hit back and things just keep going further and further, and before you know it, you see things just tumble out of control in some instances, and you can kind of see change of events where you see things boiling over. I think maybe that's kind of what you're describing a little bit.
Yes.
And you see a lot of it that day where things just a few actions here and there really do boil over, and people in the heat of the moment, they really do lose control of themselves, I think. And both sides. I think you see cops as well. And it's very interesting.
Sure.
So there was two sides of the building, one where they were letting people in and one where you were busting down windows.
Well, letting people in, right?
Yeah, I mean, you got to understand, this is after the people that are on these front lines on both sides are people that have already busted their way through barricades, have already engaged police officers at multiple levels. So when you're saying let them in, they've already, a lot of the people that you see, the first people who are entering the Capitol building in general are people who have already assaulted multiple police officers, broken through windows.
So that's why I see two different contrasts, where I see one clip where it's like, oh, they're just walking in, and the other one where it's like scary, it's just a mob.
I have a video, one of the clips I sent you have that we're not going to see today, is right before the events where those people are walking in the door, and you can see them busting in through the windows beforehand. And you're seeing a footage there where they're coming through the doors at that point, but those people have already engaged police officers. I mean, now where he's at is a little bit of a different scenario, but yeah, I mean, it's hard to get a macro sense of things going on. There's so many people and so many different things going on all at once, and the experience that I'm familiar with that he's having in the lower West Terrace is vastly different than what some of the people who are being granting access through other parts of the building, if that makes sense.
So Luke, you're there, you're yelling at the cops. You didn't get past the hallway. Did they stop you? Did you just give up?
So what happened was, after that whole situation happened with the doors and all that, I was pretty exhausted. I'll be honest.
Yeah, no, it's like a war zone. I mean, what do you
climbing?
Yeah,
if you see that,
I was in the.
You know that
front.
scene in 300 Guys where they're sieging at the gates of Thermopylae there, and their shield wall to shield wall. That is quite literally
I
how they're
pushed so
engagement
hard
is.
that shield was broken
Did you think
in
of
half.
any movies in these moments?
Did you hear me?
No, I didn't. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I pushed so hard that shield was broken in half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In half?
In half.
There's a great shot too where someone pans around. They're in the Western Terrace. You can see the shield wall of people hitting, and they pan around, and there's like a horde of people behind them, right where he's at, and it's just an endless sea of people that are all just pushing their way in. It's really like one of the most like tremendous scenes from that entire event, in my opinion.
Wow.
Thank you.
No, all good.
No,
Yeah, no, it's absolutely astonishing.
No,
So you turned around? What?
Turned around, kinda. This is where it went south really fast. When I quit trying to help,
Just so you know, it went south way before.
it
here,
went. Okay, yeah, you're right.
way
This is
earlier
when it
than-
went really bad,
Okay.
though. This is where a lot of the trauma was. I got pepper sprayed in the same stream of pepper spray. It was military grade, which is not fun. It's not fun. Plus, there was some gas going off in there, too, so you couldn't breathe. There was a woman by the name of Roseanne Boyland who went down. And from what I can gather, she was crushed to death. And then they dragged her body out and tried to give her CPR. She was blue. And
She was like trampled?
She was trampled. The police were shoving people on top of her because they were trying to get us to get out. So there was big people in front of her. What happened after that was, you can see footage of it, but it's better to get the eyewitness because the other J6ers saw it, but there was an officer who goes by Lila Morris who used her baton on her head while
This was an officer?
Yes, while she was on the ground. She was beating her over the head.
This is Roseanne Boyland.
Yes, that's who I'm talking about.
The lady who died.
One of them who died.
Yeah.
One of them.
Yeah, my notes say she was crushed to death, collapsed, and possibly due to an amphetamine overdose.
Yes, that was what. Although, from what I understand from her family, she wasn't on any amphetamines that they knew of.
Sure.
I leave, and I am crying. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I'd rather be honest than not tell the truth.
You were emotional.
Yes, I was very emotional.
And you're covered in. You just got pepper sprayed.
Yes.
I don't think I would cry.
And I'm sitting there.
That was why he was really crying.
Yeah.
I was yelling at everyone. I said, I'm sorry. I did my best. I'm sorry. I said that over and over again. And
you really, really felt like you had a purpose to be there. Like you had a job to do.
Yes. So what happened after that was, and this was amazing. People were calling me a hero. People were calling me, all this other stuff. All I wanted was a water bottle to get my eyes clear.
Yeah.
And I started to leave, and some kind of news reporter came up to me, and there was one shot. I can point it out to you where you can see me all pepper sprayed and shit. And I told them, they're like, "What's going on here?" And I told them, "Yeah, we were, dealing with the police, and they're like, well, what happened to you? I got pepper sprayed. You got pepper sprayed? Yeah, freedom never burned so good."
That was your response?
That was my response.
Thank you so much for listening to this clip of the Here's What Happened podcast. Make sure you slide over to the Here's What Happened podcast YouTube channel to listen to the full episode. While you're at it, don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Thank you for listening.